Burkina Faso abandons French as an official language. In a significant move towards promoting linguistic diversity and cultural inclusivity, the Burkinabe government recently adopted a bill revising the constitution. This revision ensures that national languages are recognized and designated as official languages, highlighting their significance and placing them on par with the previously dominant French language.
Burkina Faso has abandoned French as an official language. The Burkinabe government adopted a bill revising the constitution, effectively enshrining national languages as official languages and relegating French to the rank of working language. Anti-French sentiment has grown in that country since the military rule in January 2022.
As French is relegated to the rank of a working language, this decision marks a momentous step in embracing linguistic plurality and fostering a stronger sense of national identity in Burkina Faso. Welcome to Oscar Films TV. We bring you original African global stories. Please follow and subscribe to our channel to enjoy more of our contents. Burkina Faso, a West African nation, emerged from colonial rule in 1960. Like many other African countries with a colonial history, French became the official language and a symbol of power, bureaucracy, and education. However, this often marginalized the indigenous languages spoken by a majority of Burkinabe citizens. The government's decision to enshrine national languages as official languages marks a crucial turning point, recognizing and valuing the linguistic heritage of the country. Burkina Faso is home to over 60 ethnic groups, each with its unique language and culture. Prioritizing national languages as official languages ensures that the rich cultural and linguistic heritage of these communities is preserved and valued. By doing so, the government acknowledges the importance of linguistic diversity in fostering national unity. This move allows Burkinabe citizens to express themselves more freely in their native tongues, encouraging a stronger connection and pride in their cultural identities. Language is an integral part of cultural identity, shaping the way individuals perceive the world and interact within it. By enshrining national languages as official languages, the Burkinabe government acknowledges the value of these languages as vehicles for cultural expression and transmission. This recognition contributes to a broader sense of belonging and empowerment among linguistic communities, strengthening cultural ties and heritage preservation. Adopting national languages as official languages will have a significant impact on education in Burkina Faso. The inclusion of these languages in the education system will enable children to learn in their mother tongue during the early stages of schooling. Research has shown that early education and literacy in one's mother tongue promote better cognitive development, improved learning outcomes, and higher educational attainment. By integrating national languages into the education sector, the government is setting the stage for a more inclusive and effective learning environment. While this decision is undoubtedly a groundbreaking one, it also presents challenges that need to be addressed. One of the key challenges lies in developing standardized writing systems and improving the accessibility of teaching materials in national languages. Additionally, the government needs to support language revival efforts in communities where certain languages have faced a decline due to urbanization and the dominance of French. However, this decision also opens the door to several opportunities. It encourages researchers and linguists to explore and document the diverse linguistic landscape of Burkina Faso, leading to a better understanding of its cultural tapestry. Moreover, the integration of national languages in government institutions and public services will enhance citizen engagement, making public administration more accessible and empowering. By revising the constitution and enshrining national languages as official languages, the Burkinabe government has taken a significant step towards promoting linguistic diversity and inclusivity. This decision acknowledges the importance of cultural heritage, allows for greater self-expression, and strengthens the bond between citizens and their linguistic communities. As Burkina Faso moves forward with this revolutionary change, it sets an inspiring precedent for countries worldwide to embrace linguistic plurality and ensure that cultural diversity remains a valuable asset in the globalized world.
The event that took place this past Wednesday in Burkina Faso, when its parliament adopted a bill to essentially elevate the languages, indigenous languages, and relegate France to a working language have to do with a number of factors. One of them being the decision that has been taken by Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger to essentially cut ties with France and engage in a process of cultural, political, and judicial sovereignty. So it must be seen in that background that this is part and parcel of that process. And remember, it also follows the leadership of Ibrahim Traore that was installed in September last year, right? So that is really the broader context of what is happening, and it is related to what is happening in Mali, but also what is happening in Niger, because remember, Mali also recently passed a similar piece of legislation.
Now, how is this change perceived in terms of cultural and linguistic identity within Burkina Faso? I'd imagine it's not going to be an easy process. They've been speaking, in fact, the Burkinabe have been speaking French their entire lives, and all of a sudden it's been relegated to the state that it's been relegated to, which is a working language.
Yeah, you're quite correct. They've been speaking French, more for purposes of official type of functions and engagements. But insofar as the daily lives of people are concerned, right, the majority of languages that are spoken there, it's not France. As you know, there are over 70 indigenous languages spoken in Burkina Faso, right? And those languages have not died because French was the official language. And so there has not been a problem linguistically amongst the indigenous languages. The problem has been the fact that French has been imposed as a colonial language, and it assumed what scholars refer to the status of a language of power. And this then leads to a situation where the indigenous languages suffered in terms of their official status, but also in terms of their academic and scientific development, right? So what is really the issue here should be, what we must really look at is how the status of indigenous languages in Burkina Faso have suffered. For me, that is really the major issue, because we must understand that French is not an African or a indigenous language in Burkina Faso, right? So the logical thing would be for the people of Burkina Faso to reclaim their roots. And that is really, for me, how we should view what is happening in Burkina Faso.
So what happens to French? Is it going to be replaced by another language, another international language? I mean, let's put this into context. I mean, we're currently talking about the African Free Continental Trade Area and the need for Africans to trade with other Africans. And what it suggests is that language is going to be a key ingredient to this trade, and there's got to be a common language. So ordinarily, our own local Bantu languages, if you will, are not common across the length and breadth of the African continent.
That is exactly the point, right? That what the leadership of Burkina Faso seems to want to do, in my view, is that they want exactly to change that type of unequal power relations between French and other European languages on the African continent, because also it's an important intervention you are making when you use the issue of trade. The reason why French and other European languages are related to trade is exactly in the interest of facilitating the colonial project, right? And so it's gonna take some time, because many of the countries that were trading and continue to trade with Burkina Faso on the continent have used the franc CFA, which is the French currency for the African colonies, and have also been using the French language, right, especially in West Africa. So it's going to take some time, right? But eventually, and I'm sure many of the countries are going to adapt, and they are going to, they are going to be able to trade with this thing, with Burkina Faso. But